Hey guys, George Diamondyard Sportscards coming at you with another video. So it's been a great year, 2025. Happy 2026 to everybody. I wanted to do a review of my pickups for this year. Most of them are personal pickups, but there's a lot of cards here. I have all kinds of neat stuff like some photos, autographs, relics, mostly graded cards. But anyway, I'm going to go over those with you guys, and I appreciate you tuning in. I hope 2025 was a good year. It was a good year for me in the hobby, and traveled all over the place doing different shows. But the most important thing for me about 2025 and the hobby itself is the people that you meet, the people that you create friendships with, relationships, and it's just been a lot of fun. And there's too many people to mention, but we go to different cities, and I'm in Phoenix, but we go to Pasadena. We'll be in San Diego's coming up, Front Row San Diego, in the middle Martin Luther King Day weekend. Then 2 weeks after that is Front Row Pasadena. We'll see a bunch of people that we really enjoy hanging out with there. The West Coast Card Show, which I'll encourage everybody to attend in Ontario. California is coming up after that, Valentine's Day weekend. It's 4 days and it's sports only. So they've taken taken the Pokemon out of that, and I think it's going to be 700 tables approximately of sports cards. And then beyond that, it's going to be Chase Field. There's a show at Chase Field. Our Arizona State Card Show is going to be in March, in the middle of March. And then later on in the year, Front Row is going to do a show in Phoenix at the Cardinal Stadium. So there's a lot to be excited about in the hobby. I try to keep it positive and just keep collecting what I really enjoy collecting, meeting people, and that was what keeps it new and fresh to me. People come up and talk to me about that they've seen my videos or something like that, and it's really cool to discuss things with them and their different collecting paths. And so anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Done talking here. I'm gonna go over some cards that I picked up this year. Some of them are really rare. Some of them are pretty common, but in general, I just love these cards, photos, relics, etc. So here we go. So guys, it's the weekend. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. 2025, we lost some people, and I know this person, I believe, did not die in 2025, but well, Pete Rose here, SSPC, in a 10. Roy Hobbs, Robert Redford, my favorite baseball movie. I love period movies, and I just think this is just an outstanding movie, tribute to Robert Redford. Last year in December, we lost the great Rickey Henderson, whose stolen base record may be the most unbreakable modern record in baseball history. I believe it is. And then, we lost Fernando, who was one of a kind, and just, the Fernando Mania. That's when it really all started for me. I collected before that, but I really hit it with Fernando Mania in 1981. So guys, here we go with some cards. Another person we lost this year, but it's a very interesting card, is 83 Ryan Sandberg. All-Star Game insert. This is a rookie card. It was in a magazine, I believe, in the All-Star Game. And there's the insert. So really cool Sandberg. There we go. And so let's just look at some cards. First star card I picked up this year was this Julius Erving. In a 9. I don't believe there's any 10s of this Dr. J card, but he was my man. This is the very first star card. And frankly, this year I owned 2 star 117 second year star Jordans, and been both in Beckett 9s, and I sold those, but I kept this guy because Doc's my man. Picked this up at a show recently, just love it, and I always love this card. Don Mattingly 85 Fleer in a 10. Just love the batting stance. I remember I was just looking for a cool, and when I was a kid, Mattingly cards, I wanted the batting stance, that coiled up, almost Stan Musial-esque, but more crouching batting stance that Mattingly had. And just, whether he's a Hall of Famer or not, that's a different story, but he was just one of the great players of the 80s. My local card shop had this card, and it was just so well-centered. I said, I'm going to pick up this Donnie Drysdale rookie. It's a 6, but boy, it's just a really, really nice 6. This was a gift from a friend of mine named Jim, and he's gifted me a few cards. I bought a lot of cards off him this year, but he gave me this sweet Harmony Dairy, which is much more rare than the Daily Juice Clemente, and I kicked it to SGC, and it got a 3. That brings up, grading. There's a lot of graded cards here. SGC is going a little slower than normal. I'm going to have reveal of SGC cards vintage pretty soon on my channel. But that Harmony, Harmony Dairy, I'm sorry, great card. And along the lines of Clemente, a fellow dealer of mine picked this up at a show, and I just thought it was so cool. And I'm like, if I could sell it, great. If I could keep it, that's fine too. I know it's leaf lumber, but it says what it purports to be. You've received a game used lumber card. On the front was a piece of game used bat from Roberto Clemente. So, it's just such a cool bat knob. Look at that. Anyway, I just figured that was a neat thing to pick up. This was unique. This is a 39 play ball DeRocher. This was in the lot of cards I think I told you guys about, from 34 to 36 Diamond Stars. Well, he had this one too, and it was a sample back. So this was the sample back, free sample card to promote the 39 play ball set. And there was no play ball set prior to that, I think that I know of. Anyway, and there's a DiMaggio sample back, which is awesome. This is a card I picked up from my local card shop and got it graded. Kawakami, 1948 Menko. And it's amazing to think that this is just coming out of World War II, and it's from Japan, and Japan was playing ball coming out of the war after their country had been destroyed. And they were rebuilding, and we were occupying Japan at that point. But anyway, Kawakami was known as the god of hitting in Japan. And I'm not no expert on Japanese cards like the guys at Prestige Collectibles, but I've learned a lot from them and their online resources. And this card, this Menko, Kawakami would go on to manage the Yomiuri Giants when they had won their championships with Sadahara O. So Tetsuharu Kawakami, the god of hitting. O-Pee-Chee, Hank Aaron. I just been trying to collect more unique things. O-Pee-Chee's Venezuelans, and you're going to see some as we go on. Really cool back on the 65 O-Pee-Chee. Love the back on the 71, 74. But anyway, you'd be hard pressed to find another O-Pee-Chee Hank Aaron and higher than the 5, frankly. This was one I picked up recently. It's a Griffey, and it's a sweet 10 Pacific Prism, Gold Prism Griffey. This is the only 10 that SGC has. So Griffey inserts have just gone bananas. And, the respect for Griffey in the hobby and with other players is amazing. I have to tell you the story. CeCe Sabathia was coaching a team for the Rickwood Field game for the Negro Leagues a couple years ago. And all these ball players between 30 and 40 were retired, and they went and asked them who their favorite baseball players. They went down the line of both these teams that they had put together of retired players, and I want to say 80% of them said Griffey. Some said Josh Gibson, one said Barry Bonds, some said Satchel Paige, some said Hank Aaron, but most of them said Griffey. And then at the very end of it, Griffey walked out because he was one of the honorees. But Griffey just has this cachet, and he's Griffey. Anyway, Freddie Freeman, this is a rookie. Cool Cognac Diamond. And I mean, you guys know I do vintage, but I do modern too. This sweet Cognac Diamond, I mean, Freddie Freeman's accomplishments cannot be denied. And he's just, just a lunch pail dude, man, and a great baseball player. Hall of Famer, in my opinion. Cool Nolan Ryan here, O-Pee-Chee. 1977. These O-Pee-Chees are tough. I picked up a 74 at the National in an 8 O-Pee-Chee, and I moved it, but those O-Pee-Chees, 74 O-Pee-Chee in an 8, there's only 5 higher than that. So these O-Pee-Chee cards are tough, and this is a unique one because it's a closer up image of Ryan's regular card. Most of the O-Pee-Chees are exactly the same image, like you saw the 65 Hank. But anyway, Nolan Ryan O-Pee-Chee, big fan of that. Here's another rare Orion card. This is a Venezuelan sticker from 77. You can see I'm big on 70s cards and unique cards. So this is a tough card. Record breaker Ryan. There is no 77 Venezuelan sticker of Ryan, only the record breaker. And then this is a Nolan Ryan here, PSA 10, 82 tops. It's funny because this card is so expensive in a 10, and in a 9, it's probably like 60 bucks. And in raw, it's negligible, maybe 10 bucks. But the PSA 10 craze continues, and it's something that is just happening, and it's hard to deny. I bought this card raw this year and got it graded, and it did really well. High number Johnny Bench, got an 8.5 from SGC. Thought this was just a killer card. Picked this up at a local card shop recently. It was too much to pass up, or too cool. It's a Mantle, 61 post, perforated. It's an 8, and just thought it was really, really neat card, and a high grade, not many higher, of Mantle. 70s cards, I think I showed both of these before. Got picked up 2 8.5s. I love 9s and 8.5s of 70s cards. Nice Mays and Reggie from his MVP year. I wonder if Reggie's going to continue. Reggie seems to not be as popular, and, understandably to some degree, but his accomplishments are amazing. And obviously Willie Mays is Willie Mays. And you're going to see more Mays and more Reggie coming up here. More O-Pee-Chees. This is a Carew and an 8. Went on kind of an O-Pee-Chee run. Picked up this rod. The O-Pee-Chees, too, with their card stock, just look a little bit brighter and more bold in general. And you'll see that on this O-Pee-Chee card. This is a 1976 Reggie. And 76s can be so washed out and have so much snow on them. But these O-Pee-Chee cards are just bold and brilliant. 76 Reggie. Oakland A's Reggie. She's a Sun Devil. So Shohei has been a big part of my year. I frankly have sold some Shoheis that I truly regret. This is the 700 short print with bat in a PSA 9. Picked this up from a friend of mine from Tucson. And this card, there's a regular 700. Then there's this short print. And then earlier this year, I had the super short print hand on helmet, which I probably one of the only cards I regret moving this year. But anyway, Shohei is one of a kind. We're just going to put him over here. And that's the short print of his first base rookie. Now we're going to go to some, not cards, but some other stuff that I picked up this year. I picked up 3 of these wax trays, 1980 tops, from a guy in San Diego. And he'd actually opened one of the 4 wax trays and pulled a Ricky Henderson. I bought that too. But these wax trays are just so cool. And Baseball Card Exchange wraps them and boxes. And I'll tell you what, Baseball Card Exchange to me is absolutely fantastic. You'll call them up and Steve Hart will answer the phone. You get customer service. They are just one of a kind, honestly. They're so great. But anyway, and I'm not getting paid by Baseball Card Exchange. I'm just, every interaction I have with them when I wrap boxes or packs is just very smooth. They're efficient, and they get back to me, and they're communicative. But anyway, 3 packs. These are grocery racks, trays. And so, search for the Ricky Henderson rookie. Another cool piece I picked up was this sweet photo of Jackie Robinson. I have numerous photos at PSA right now being slabbed. This was a really cool one. You got Jackie there turning the double play, I think, and you got Pee Wee behind him. And this is type 1 photo. Probably will get it slabbed at some point, but found this at a show. Couldn't get past it. There's the certificate of authenticity. This is from 1951. Pee Wee and Jackie. It's a 7x9. And, you guys know me. And you're going to see some Jackie Robinsons coming up in this, as I'm always collecting Jackie. This was a sweet piece I just picked up. And just got it in. I was waiting to do this video until I got this piece in. And it's a 4x4 inch kind of cardboard kind of photo. On the front here is Sparky Anderson and Tom Seaver, both autographed, both authenticated by PSA. The bigger surprise here was the back. And the back is autographed Satchel Paige and Dizzy Dean. And, it's funny because, when you know Satchel Paige autographs, best switches from, and he makes a big M, almost like 2 M's when he does that. And then that's from Satchel. So Dizzy Dean and Satchel Paige when he was a pitching coach for the Braves. And on the front of it, Sparky and the great George Thomas Seaver. So that was just so cool. And thank my wife for that. She gave me an eBay gift card that helped take the edge off picking up this one. And the seller was fantastic. He negotiated with me a little bit and was able to pick it up. Going back to cards, I love relic cards, epic materials, Lou Gehrig, and when you buy these cards, and I keep saying this, and Nate Topps 85401, is the one who turned me on this years ago. You have received a game used bat trading card, Upper Deck Company. Front of this card is an authentic piece of bat used by Lou Gehrig in an official Major League game. That's what you're looking for. You're not looking for guaranteed by Panini America. You're looking for that. This is numbered out of 15 of the Iron Horse, just a super cool card. Another neat one that I picked up in San Diego was this Tony Gwynn. It is the biggest, thickest slab I have ever had of Beckett. Look at that thing. Anyway, it's a glove. Tony Gwynn, numbered at 50. Sweet Spot Signatures Brown Glove Leather. Tony Gwynn Auto. So that was really neat. Anything Tony Gwynn, I'm in. Basketball. You know, you guys know me for doing a lot of baseball, but I do a lot of basketball, especially patch and stuff of Jordan and Kobe. So I picked up this sweet patch, raw, and kicked it to Beckett. Just love the fact it has the purple and the yellow of Kobe, numbered at 25. And on the back, it says here, it's like, I think it's a shooting shirt from an all-star game that he used. You know, you're always looking from the back to see what it says it is. And so along these lines, these fabric reflections cards are so neat. Along those lines, I picked up this one, which is a triple fabric reflections in a 9. And this one is numbered, I believe, to 25 also. So if it was, I just learned this, you know, the number thing, like if this was a Jordan, it was 23 or 29, it'd be a number match, and it'd be worth more money. Anyway, but that's what the kids like that. So anyway, this is the Kobe triple fabric reflections. Back to vintage, and we're heading to the home stretch here, guys. I mean, I got some really good cards here. I love these cards. Pete Rose, 1967 in an 8. Sometimes, you know, cards just come up to you. And I had a guy looking for a Pete Rose rookie, and he traded me this 8 among many other Pete Rose cards because he was really one of this Pete Rose rookie I picked up. But anyway, real nice Rose in an 8. I guess my buddy was telling me he's on the ballot in 2028. He'll have a chance. So I picked up 2 Tom Seaver rookies this year for the first time in my life. I've never had a Tom Seaver rookie because it's so hard to find a good one. And so this one, I've had 2 of them. And it's funny because this is from my friend. I bought this off of him, and it's a really nice 7. At the same time, this is a card that I'm more likely to keep in my PC, and it's SGC, but it is a blazer. It's a 6.5, and the centering is killer. Just a really nice Seaver rookie in a 6.5. So along the lines of these amazing Mets, I showed this card previously. Milton Bradley, Nolan Ryan, much more rare than the Tops. Obviously, the Venezuelans are much more rare than the Milton Bradleys. But, you know, Ryan rookies have been going crazy. But, you know, rarer ones, these were actually in a game. And the game, they would give you a bunch of cards. And they would be, I think it was football, baseball, and cars. So anyway, Milton Bradley rookie Ryan. Thought that was really neat. Local show, a guy picked it up. It had been in his personal collection for a long time. Picked up a bunch of 80s 10s, and this is the only one remaining, which is a Donruss Cal Ripken Jr. rookie. And frankly, it keeps going up in value. So I'm kind of, I don't really want to move it. But anyway, it's a really nice copy. I always love this, you know, not that, it's just he looks like a young teenage kid. You know, he's got this acne on his face, and he's going to go out and win the Rookie of the Year and then win the MVP, be a World Series champion. He's Cal Ripken. Getting into some really sweet cards here. These are all great cards, but this was one I picked up from a friend of mine named Pete. He's a really good dude, and he came by and he had this card, and he left and he came back and he's like, I know you want this card. I know you do. And I'm like, dude, let's do it. So 62 Topps Clemente, just a really difficult card, especially in an 8. Anyway, so real cool card of the great one. Continuing on, just picked up this one, and I'm upgrading my Jackies. So I picked up this 7.5. It's a white back Jackie. I mean, it's really white. But anyway, pick this up off eBay. Usually I just won't, but this popped up and I'm like, I think this is totally reasonable, the price that he was asking. The 8s go for like $7,000-$8,000, so I figured a 7.5 is where I'd want to be. I have a 56 grayback in a 7, and I might be looking to move up on that one. But anyway, really nice Jackie. You know, my man. Shown this card before, but it's a Shohei Topps Now Auto. It's a 10/10. Really think this is cool. I'm on the fence about moving this or not because it's Shohei, and I keep regretting selling Shoheis. And, you know, that just is the theme, I think, of 2026 in a lot of ways. Got 4 really good cards here. 3 of them are pickups. The head of the front row show, Dan, had this card in April in Phoenix, and it was just a blazer. 49 Bowman, Jackie Robinson, and it is super undergraded. I mean, I know why it's graded what it is, but it is an absolute stunner. It's a 2.5, and there's a baby wrinkle. You can see it right there. But it is just a stunning, stunning Jackie Robinson card. And the centering is great and just really nice. So I picked it up from him and was happy to pay what he was, pretty much what he was asking. But anytime you have a chance to pick up a 1940s Jackie Robinson, you should get on that train. 3 more cards. This was from a buddy of mine. He sold me a lot of cards this year. He had this raw, and he had a lot of really great raw cards. And he sold to us at the National and other places. But this was a card he had, and his grandfather had this in his collection. And I'm going to keep this one. It is beautiful, and I don't have this particular card. And I got it graded by PSA. And it was a Gehrig, 33 Goudey Gehrig, and a 3. And it's just, you know, the color on this thing, it's just a stunner. And, you know, I think PSA, that's about the lowest they could have given me, frankly, in my mind. Obviously, we're all hoping for higher grades, but this is just a sweet-looking Iron Horse card. Last card. This pairs up with a card that I had. So I bought this card years ago. It had always been on my list. This is my Willie Mays rookie. It's 2.5. And I was at the show in San Diego for Memorial Day, and there was a gentleman there who had never done any shows before, and he was just a fantastic dealer. He had Babe Ruth and Mickey Mantles and all kinds of stuff, and there was a card from this set that I was missing, and it was on my list, and that was a Mickey Mantle rookie card, the Mickey Mantle rookie card, and it happened to be in a 2.5 grade. So I wanted to pair it with this guy, and I said to myself, if I have a good show, maybe I can get into that card. Well, we did the deal. And he took some cards from me to soften the blow, including an 85 Topps Hulk Hogan and a 9, a 51 Burke Ross Jackie Robinson, and another card. So that softened the blow, but the card was this beautiful Mantle rookie card in a 2.5, which matched up perfectly with the Mays that I have. Back's really clean. You know, it's a 2.5 because there's a little bend there, like a lightning bolt coming down. I like to prefer it to be like that. But to pair these guys together in both 2.5s, they're both really, really nice cards. And I was just really excited to add the Mantle rookie finally to the collection. So guys, I hope everybody has a healthy and happy 2026. Thank you for staying with me. I usually don't have these videos are usually not this long, but I figured there was some good stuff here that you all might be interested in. So I wish everybody a happy new year and keep collecting. Hey guys, there was one last card that I forgot, and a buddy of mine and I bought this card, and it was probably the most rare card that we picked up, but I want to show it to you, and I just felt like it was important to put in this. This is a Sandy Koufax Retirado. The back is the back, but I wanted to add this to the cards, and so I'm going to put these guys here. But this is just a blazer on the front, and I had to show you guys. It looks like a 7. It's just amazing. So this Koufax Retirado we picked up, and just the surface is outstanding. My buddy and I, he scours Facebook for cards, and so this one popped up, and we made the seller an offer that he found to be reasonable, and picked this nice one up. So again, guys, thanks for staying with me. Happy 2026 to everybody, and keep collecting.